Okay. Only when you do not give up, then you can collect more fortunate future. Trying to start our online broadcast. We are thrilled to see you today. 我的荧幕没有动哎，那个 YouTube 我需要换到 Facebook 去吗？师姐，我需要去 Facebook 吗？我这里都没有动哎。Okay. Yeah, please join us at mm, okay. Yeah, let's thank everyone for supporting us. The common points for all successful people is love to read. So loving to read is what we should keep in our mind. There are different ways to love reading. Did we stop on January 1st when it was Wednesday? No, we did not. Not only we did not stop, but we also added more. We added more presenters. Our vice CEO came, and we also see Dharma Master Zheng Quan. If you see the Korean my master she's going to talk about the vegetarian dishes in Korea. And we have instant translation from Korean to what we need. And you can see the challenge to health is facing us. And we will not have any holiday on January 1st. And this is our program for the coming January 1st. This is the brother of Sister Ciyue. He's doing a lot. He's also doing as much as Sister Ciyue. And we also have Brother Wang Yunjing. And this sign of love is our symbol. And that's the symbol for our loving stores. So we have a lot more programs to come. This is what the director of the Ritam who's going to give us. He has been listening to the Dharma Sutra for more than 20 years, and he will give this to friends on January 1st. Because it's New Year, New Year Day, and we have a sister who's going to give us a present. If you come on January 1st, you will get a present. Do we have online book club on January 1st? Yes, we do. Mm. Yeah. So everyone, please come. Welcome you on blind on January 1st. We are thrilled to see you today and on January 1st too. Only when the folks who are going to see to discuss with to report to Master Zheng Yan will miss our local online book club. But everyone else, please come to join us on January 1st. Right now, the YouTube has a little click glitch. So we just need to wait for the program for the today. And I'm trying to check whether Facebook will have a better report. Okay. Now we can see a lot of Jingsi aphorism. So these Jingsi aphorism books are very valued in the Arabic countries. Next week, we will have these books in our bookstore, and we wish everyone support this and look at how pretty they are. Even though you may have a lot of Jingsi after the books, it, they are still wonderful books to keep, to pass it to other people as presents. And if you buy these books and wave these books in front of them, they will be very happy. These commissioners from Turkey, they come here to get certified. Oh, only 19 of them can come over here because they have the visa to come in and out from Taiwan. That's how we can show our support. If you can buy one of these books from Turkey, it has the Arabic language, Arabic translation. And here you need to grasp quickly. These are the special presents from the Buddha's kingdom. Originally, this is supposed to be come out on January 15th. 5,900 copies are already sold out because of the story. Very touching. These are very special because we sell these to the kingdom of the Buddha. This explains the story of the Buddha. They will bring these presents on that day. These ladies usually do not use nail clipper, not even scissors. They use, wow, they all learn from the scratch. They need to learn math, so they try to learn the multiplication table. And this is these are the products of these ladies. They are all handmade. They may not be the best polished products, but they represent the heart of our Dejian master. She bought every one of the handbags they made and trying to promote the handmade products that they need. Originally, they were going to start sale on January 15th, but when people heard about their stories, they were so touched and they started order them. So please applaud for these people who support these efforts. And look at, because it's handmade and they are new, so they are not so polished. But look at, they made 5,900 copies. They are handmade in Lumbini, all sold out. They are ordered. So teacher Meiyun has ordered 200 copies of them, and 60 of them are allocated to the team from Turkey. I'm going to give 60 copies for the team from Turkey. So we're two things to do next week. One is to make sure to order the Arabic version of Jing's aphorism. The next thing is to order these handmade presents from the Buddha's kingdom. And the remaining 140 copies I ordered will be kept in the Jingsi bookstore in Kaohsiung. So come here and order it. These are the handmade handbag from the ladies in Nepal. Let's hope you can get a copy of this. And this way we can help those ladies in the Buddha's kingdom. See, Master says, if the brothers and sisters from Malaysia and the Singapore were not moving, then we wouldn't see all these today. Because of their effort, they bring the new life to the people in the Buddha's kingdom. So this is the presents we are going to present to the Buddha's kingdom. Today, this afternoon, we will have the handcraft. And this is how to make the smiling face. It will start at 2:30 this afternoon. So please go to the Jingsi bookstore at 2:30 this afternoon to learn how to make the smiling face and finding face, finding smiles. Because of the handmade crafts, we have collected donation of 100,000 Taiwanese dollars. And Great Love, wow, they have collect the donation of 1,270,000 Taiwanese dollars. We started the craft workshop on August 9th, 2023, and it's only 12:11 today, and we have collected such a huge donation. So as long as we work together, we will have strength and power. This is the blessings our Master Zheng Yin gave us for the year. So we need to watch the Dai program every day. And here's the QR code. If you just take a picture of the QR code, you will be the friends of the Dai TV, which is the Great Love TV. So if you love our founder, you should talk more about Tzu Ji. The key to doing good deeds is not about the amount done, but doing whatever should be done. Improving one's own character is self-help. Inspire others is to help others. Let's look at the master's ideal talents. They are modest and not arrogant. We need to have the Dharma in our heart. If we love our founder, we should talk more about Tzu Ji. And this is the inspiration from Master to translate. This is the second week of the month. So these are the English translation team. Let's thank them. And now these are the Japanese translator. And let's thank them. We want to thank Sister Meiyun for leading this team to translate translate into Japanese. This morning, Dharma Master Dehang talked about Zimbabwe, and Sister Meiyun has been doing all the translation work. And we also have the Cantonese team, thank them, and also the Malay translation team. Thank to them all. Thanks to this team. 3 of them do not understand Chinese at all. They had to listen to the English translation and then translate into Malay. This is the Hakka team. And we want to thank them, and let's thank them. Thanks to the whole teams. You have so many team already. Do you still need more? And actually, you can see this is the first Tzu seed in New York. And when she knew that director Jian Shouxing was coming here, and she came to listen to him. And that's we got this picture. Wow. The next speaker getting the line is for 2025, October. And these are the reflections from people. This is reflection from Sacramento director Nancy Koo from the 30th birthday of Northern California, Northwestern region. She came to visit the Kaohsiung book club. And from that visit, she was so inspired by the teamwork and the fun of the online book club. So he inspired he wants to join the online book club every week now. It's so powerful and touching. She's very grateful for the opportunity. We thanks for Sister Bi Hui-chen, Nancy. Also, last October, that's when she came. And reading this book, reading on the air, please get it if you haven't got it. We also want to thank our other team. Because of the time, we need to move forward to this. So these are the good feedback and reflections from people. Positive feedback and effect. And Sister Sing needs to watch the program in order to draw the cartoons. So last week we had 110 feedback. And these are the thankful notes to the speakers. They appreciate the principal, the directors of the education, and the speakers were very grateful for the opportunity to present here. Every week, every January, they will come. What about the activity team? They need to join us. And here, our appreciation to Sister Qing'er. And these feedbacks are from the US, Canada, Malaysia, Japan, China, and Taiwan. So please just move your fingers and give us some feedback. We really appreciate your feedback. And here, see, you can see the feedback from China. They appreciate what I'm wearing. Now we are going to see the report from the Dailin Tzu Hospital. Before we start, let's applaud for the speaker today. When the Taiwanese team won the championship of the baseball game, I called him, Dr. Weiren, right away because he was busy helping the baseball team. I asked him whether it's possible for him to visit us. And since we already had our program lined up till October next year, and it's also very difficult for him to come to Kaohsiung from Dailin because he was with the baseball team. He has missed visiting taking care of his patients. That's why. So we're asking to be online for only 15 minutes. And look at this. Wow, this is all made by teacher Meiyun because of the time pressure. So I made it myself. I finished everything in 4 hours. Isn't that amazing? Let's applaud to teacher Meiyun. When I was sure that Dr. Weiren Chen is coming here, I started making this. And Sister Queen asked me whether I can invite him. And after my conversation with Hueyu, and Dr. Wei then said that, yes, right away. That's why we did this urgent piece in 4 minutes, 4 hours. So we two working together. I wrote the draft, and she arranged in such a beautiful flyer. In addition of all her normal things to do, two people in 4 hours, we broke the record. So normally we do not do such an urgent thing, but this is all worth it. You and me, Team Taiwan. He has been here before, and we know him this time because of the championship of the Taiwanese baseball team. We have more to report. Here's the Dai TV report of the winning. Let's This is a report about Dr. Chen Weiren. He has been with the baseball team for a long time, and he has been their trainer for their occupational health. He's been taking care of the team even before the preliminary games. Because this program is long, we won't have time to finish the whole thing. Let's, yeah. So this is the whole team. And if we move forward, you can see the doctor who takes care of the team is Dr. Chen Weiren from Tzu Dailin Hospital. And he takes care of their physical health and safety. If whenever they show any discomfort or when they move their arms showing some discomfort, I pay attention and take care of them. And he has been with the team many, many times to international games. He's not getting this honor in the certain. It's because of the previous years' hard work and the wonderful record. He has been with this team for 9 years. So it's a long term relationship And on their way back, everyone in Taiwan was so thrilled. They welcomed him. Yeah, he is the gold medal team doctor, Dr. Weiren Chen from Tsuji Dailin Hospital. He went to Japan with the team and he watched the team members every single second of the game so he could give them whatever help they needed at that time. And when he came back to Taiwan, he returned to the Dailin Tsuji Hospital and started visiting his patients. And the hospital gave him a welcome party. And many patients are waiting for him. This is the welcome parade and celebration when the team came back to Taiwan. And this, you can see the team, and this is the president of Taiwan welcomed them and all the people in Taiwan. Everyone is so happy. Team Taiwan, Team Weiren, and Team Tsuji. The world sees Taiwan, and the world sees Tsuji, and the world sees the Dr. Weiren Chen from our Tsuji hospital. We are just the little screws of the team. The most hard workers are them, and we are just doing our duties. And Dr. Chen has been doing the physical examination and help support for 9 years. During the games, the team members may get hurt, but they still insist to finish all the games. Very, very memorable. I'm very honored to work with this team of players and coaches, and I'm wonderful to be a member. You can see now. Let's welcome the activity team already ready for Dr. Chen. We want to welcome Dr. Chen with this. Okay. I love you, love. I have infinite love to you. So we're gonna sing this song and make these motions. Oh, so we just say oh ho oh ho. So we can just sing the oh ho ho oh ho ho oh ho ho. Just follow the activity team. Clap your eyes, clap your hands, here and say hero, hero, hero. So hero and 慈院, 慈院 means 慈济 hospital. Hero, clap, clap, clap. 委任, 委任, go, go, go. Okay, so just follow these actions. The introduction is ho, 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 ho. And when you do the second ho, 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 you move your arms up and then move them on top of your head. Okay, let's all stand up and do this together and deliver our love to Dr. Weiren to show our love to Dr. Chen. Are you ready? Smile. Oh, ho, oh, ho, ho, oh, ho, oh, ho, 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 oh, oh, ho. Hero, hero. Again, 赞, hero, hero. 委任, go, go, go. 委任 director, we love you. We have infinite love to you. And we love to be with you because you have positive energy. Okay, let's welcome Dr. Weiren. How come doctor is not smiling? Probably he's very tired. Oh, okay. Because he's not used to the broadcast online. He probably doesn't know that he's already online. Because yeah, he needs to be very serious with his job. So let's meet Director Chen. We love to be with you because you have positive energy. Welcome, Dr. Chen. So let's wait for him to open the slide. Okay, this is his slide. You and me, Team Taiwan, by MD, Canada PhD, Dr. Weiren Chen. He's from the Dailin Tzu Hospital, sports medicine. He's also the team doctor for the Taiwanese team who just won the championship for the World Baseball game. Okay, it's successful. Okay, Dr. Chen, you can start. Yes. Can you see my PPT? Yes. Teacher Meiyun and all folks online and family members and all the Dharma masters at Jingsebo. Good day. I'm Dr. Weiren from Tzu Dailin Hospital, also the team doctor for the Taiwanese baseball team. I'm very happy to be here in such a short time to share what I have experienced. I would like to share with you something that you don't see on the TV screens and inside stories. And I hope through this you can understand the team and me better. These are all the credentials of Weiren. Look at his impressive credentials. Our Dailin Ziyuan, the sports center, is not only taking care of the competitors, I mean team players, but also regular people. Today we're going to focus on the global championship of the Taiwanese team. In the thrill of winning the world championship, and everything is still very fresh in my mind. And you can still see reports on the newspapers and TVs. And demos and sharings from the team members. Yeah, we've been waiting for more than 20 years to win this championship. And also, the process is not that smooth. We had to go through many injuries, hardship of the players, and lots of problems. But we made it. And also in the beginning, people did not expect us to be the champion. So it's a very difficult thing. And you can see how much trouble, how much hard work that we have to go through to get this wonderful outcome. When we were in the competition, we have 28 players, and with the supporting team, we have almost 90 people. No matter where we were during the team competition, so when we stood on top of the world, were we nervous? Yes, we were, because this is such a high competition. And the opponents were so strong. We were worried, we were nervous, we were a little apprehensive about the competition, but we were not afraid. In front of me are the 28 team members. Standing behind me are 40,000 Taiwanese overseas residents supporting our team. Mm. Do you know? Yeah, do you know that? Okay, he's playing the rah 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 on the go go go, supporting cause from all the supporters on site. Do you know a strong hitter is the one who only has 30% batting average? And a quality starter means they had only 3 runs in 6 innings. And the distance from the pitcher to the base is 18.44 kilometers, meters. And this Japanese says baseball is called the game to face failure, because even the best players also often fail. The loser's game. For a pitcher, who has 3 runs in 6 innings is still considered a quality starter. So he's only allowed to lose three runs. For pitcher, the distance from the pitcher, so it's about 7 or 8 floor high distance. That's 18.44 meters distance. That's standing on the pitcher's mound to throw the ball into the strike zone. That's how difficult to make a strike. A new pitcher may have to have 2/3 of her pitches to be good balls. Life is just like a ball game. You cannot ask everyone to give you a good ball because baseball is the game is a failed sport. It's a loser's game. How do we face it? How can we make it a good game? You can see this is at the game site at the Tokyo Dome. Yeah, originally we were just hoping to get into Tokyo. Means that we were doing pretty well. And we didn't expect that we not only entered Tokyo, but also win the championship. It's very exciting. I want to share the I want to share this exciting big game in 2023 World Baseball Champion game. That's how we watch the game. It's a little different from when you watch a game from your audience site. And these are the great team players. Yeah, they took, and the one in the center is the main coach. To win such a game, it's really, really difficult. He has to carry so many, many things. Since it's a loser's game, he has to bear with so many, many failures. And under his leadership, the team has very high trust and cooperation. That's how we got such a wonderful outcome. Mm, I had to work close with the team members, coaches, and workers on site. And the two guys in the middle are the local coordinators from Japan. And the one on the right is the Taiwanese coordinator. This way, we can all work together to help our team members succeed. Before the game, during the game, and after the game, the communication and coordination are very important. Many people only see them during the game, but you don't see things behind the game. See, we had to start very early, and we need to warm up, help the team members with their warm up, any necessary treatments. And after the game, we still have to do whatever treatments that are necessary. Wow, we start working in the morning until maybe 2 or 3 in the morning. And we had only less than 5 hours of sleep every day in the past. That's how difficult the team is. And we try to squeeze in time to eat our meals. Yeah, most of the time we just take a bowl of noodle and squat on the floor to finish our meals. And we have to take turns to eat our meals. So the protecting team and the medical team are doing a lot of work behind the scene. Yeah, you don't see their work behind the TV screen. You know, many team members were hurt during the games. And see, while the game is still going on outside, these players were hurt, and I had to treat them and help them immediately, assess their bone damage, and see whatever I could do to help them. Yeah, instantaneous diagnosis and treatment were needed right away. Yeah, it's very demanding because you need to try to do this as soon as possible. And this is the last game, championship game, when this player, small finger, was distorted. So we took him to the side to do the diagnosis and assessment. And, and we want to check whether any bone is broken and bring it to the original position and fix them. So all the instant treatments are needed. Two questions are asked to me. Can we ask you for a signed ball by the two players? Number two question is, why did you accept this job? And here is my classmate who sent me this message on TV. He said, she said, Dr. Chen Weiren, I want to send you this to thank you for supporting the Taiwanese team and to be the greatest support behind the scene for them. So sometimes the team members did not have time to tell us what, where, and how they were hurt, and I need to assess and diagnose behind. Yeah, immediately. Yeah, do you know all the bottles of champagne? The host country prepared 1,000 bottles of champagne for the championship team to celebrate their winning. And they did not expect Taiwanese team to win the game. Since they have already prepared these 1,000 bottles, they brought it to the table. And this is the time you can see how our leading coach is so wonderful. He said, we can celebrate, but we don't want to open the champagne right there in Japan because the Japanese team prepared for themselves and we don't want to show off so so much in front of them. We can bring these champagnes back to Taiwan to celebrate. This way we show our respect to the host team, the Japanese team. So how wonderful our leading coach is. So on site, we will just thank them for the wonderful champagne bottles and we will bring them back. And isn't this wonderful to see our head coach so considerate of the Japanese team and so kind hearted with the athlete spirit? Yeah, in the old days, people think the good kids will go to school, and then the not so good kids will go to sports, but that's not the case. Actually, these athletes, they are wonderful. They have wonderful spiritual culture, yeah, like the leading coach. I like Hayao Miyazaki's Spirited Away. He said, in there's a sentence, if you forget your name, you will not find the way home. So one day we will find our name and we will find our name home, our home, road home. So outside there are many near miss or near hit moments. On the left, it was judged as a miss, but then it was changed to a hit. Yeah, so the near miss of one team is the near hit of the other team. We see this in our clinics often too. Just the one mind, one thought difference will make a difference between success and failure. Just like the game in life, we need to be very cautious. So every time a pitcher throws a ball, it's a duel with a batter. Hits, walks, and even teammates' errors are all the enemy's success or failure. The enemy's success is our failure. So, what did we learn? Baseball faces a lot of frustrations and failures. We always try to minimize the loss of the failure. In the process, we may have some misses or problems, failures. But until the last moment, the story is not ending. You never know what the outcome is until the last moment. Just like life, we always have hope. And we also know, even though the star players are important, but the teamwork and cooperation is the key to success. And this is also the key for our success this time. The coach, the team players, and all the supported team members will all cooperate so well together. If the failures are allowed and in the process, then we should not be so critical about whether the game is a success or a failure. In the frustration and failure of being on base and being scored, we must avoid more mistakes and make up the lost runs by hitting. In the end, a game can be won. And I am Weiren from the Dailin Tzu Hospital. Thank you so much for your listening. Dr. Chen, please stay there with a smile, and we would love to talk to you. Handsome Dr. Weiren. Thank you for sharing with us the stories behind the scene. Why does he know so much about everything on screen and behind the scene? So, culture, cultivation makes every place a Dharma cultivation place. That's why we want to learn. So, thank you.
So there's some of the feedbacks we're getting from the listeners. They're saying that they're very grateful for the opportunity to hear Dr. Chen can share about some of the background information that you never get the opportunity to listen about. And they're very happy that Taiwan had this opportunity to share and to celebrate this achievement. From other feedbacks are saying that they're very grateful for the medical team for safeguarding the health and the body of these athletes and giving them the opportunity to win the championship. And they're very grateful for him for working overtime to safeguard the health of the athletes. They say that in the championship of Team Taiwan is the collective hard work of everyone, the athletes, the doctors, any supporting people. Even though the doctors are facing a very difficult task under a lot of stress, they still do perform well under stress and do their duty diligently. So even though he only has 15 minutes for share, but we never stopped him because he is such a great sharing. So let's give him a round of applause and thank him for his hard work. So now we know he could not smile because he's trying to recreate the stressful opportunity or the stressful time when they're with the team, and he has been with the athletic team for 9 years now. And very grateful for him to share his time with us. Previously, he would come in person and then drive back right after to see his patients. But today, because his schedule is overbooked, he's joining us through the cloud. So let's thank him for his short and concise sharing. Now, because of the time, we really wish everyone to help to support the Jinsi family. So we have these products here. We have these as sample for those who are here at Kaohsiung and just to test it out. So you can take your time to enjoy it. And we also found that you can mix it either with like plant milk or soy milk. It will taste wonderful. And if you're joining our year-end blessing in Kaohsiung, then let us know. We'll have these samples available for you. and we have sponsors who are wanting to share this with everyone and build that good affinity. So as you can hear, as you can see today that we're all wearing clothing from Dai Technology. These are all ways to support our environmental protection efforts. Now, as Master is visiting, we're asked how many our international shares are there, and show that we have more than 30 of them. Now, in the beginning, there were three contact person that we're experimenting with, and now all three of them are now back in Taiwan, and Sister Wendai is among one of them. And today she will be sharing about the youth accountability in study groups. And next we will have stories from Turkey. So let's welcome our speaker with our chant. Dear Master, Bowmasters, and all the study group buddies, I hope you all have a good day. My name is Wendai, and today I would like to share with you the winter edition of 2023 from November. And our topic is the youth accompanying studying groups. So towards the end of 2020, many of the schools were closed due to the COVID pandemic. And even so, they were switched to a online indirect learning methods. With after upon hearing that, many Tzu Chi volunteers donated computers and supplied those to remote areas to give them opportunity that can still continue their studies. Tzu Chi also work with a online digital learning platform, Pagomo, and then to have more than 2,000 students and pair them with teams, more than 750 of the adult teams. So in the global, there are more than 90,000 students participating. Through games, they learn about environmental protection and disaster prevention. So as you can hear from these images, the young kids were learning alongside of some of the older volunteers. It shows us how important education is and not to dismiss the effort of a firefly, such a little fickle flame can still light up any dark place. So now let us listen to what Master has shared about the importance of education. So I called upon these college students to join in, and they could accompany the kids, the younger kids, help them with their homework, so that even though school is closed, their education, their learning never stopped. And even when they're at home by themselves, there's somebody with them, and they can learn from them. Because as we know, kids cannot stop learning. We still have to be with them. So I say that even though school is closed, education never stops. And I'm very grateful that our CEO really acted on it. Immediately called out for everyone to the participation and supplying both manpower, supplies. So very grateful for Master. Upon the end of the pandemic, this study group have grown internationally. We have worked with the Taipei Normal University with their Chinese learning, Mandarin learning programs, and asking a lot of college students to join in. The foundation, Tzu Foundation also provided training classes on how to more effectively facilitate learning online. They the college students showed a lot of patience working with young kids, and when it's winter or summer break, they would go and visit the students overseas. So let's see what they do when they were visiting them abroad. So Tzu has supported these international efforts to Thailand, Malaysia, Philippines, and even Turkey. And it's very beneficial for the kids that are joining in this program. And it's not just for their school, but also their whole person development. In Tzu in Tzu school, Manor House School in Turkey, we have Tzu volunteers who are there to join them. And they know that there's a lot of students who cannot go to their normal school, so they have to learn on their own because of their refugee label. In addition, Tzu volunteers also visited Tzu schools in Thailand. They visited a, a funeral home because there was a family there with a kid with depression, and because his parents had passed away, they cannot go to school. Now, because they could go online, they could continuously study with and growing with the kids and never stop the learning process. So very grateful for their efforts and their involvement. And we have received acclaim for this project, or even from the presidents or the Ministry of Education. And they had the opportunity to share with the president what they have learned and receiving their recognition for the project. These pictures shows you that our volunteers visiting the places that they were working with. And this in particular is the Manihal School in Turkey. And not just talking to them and interacting with them, they actually go into their homes to learn more about their living conditions, their household status. So let us listen to what they learn from that. So this conference is the happiest moment in their lives. When 30 some students come back to from their visit in Turkey, they were sharing in the abode, and they were teaching Mandarin through games, and the kids there really loved the classes. All of our college volunteers were very happy to see them as well. And in addition to helping with studies, they visited local families and give them goods and monetary supplies. Many of them, after receiving their cards, they would give them a hug and show their gratitude, and it really made them feel warm. And it's not just providing them with opportunity to learn Mandarin, but rather it's also the opportunity to bring blessing from 8,000 kilometers away. And they brought back gifts from Manahal schools from the students. As masters share that with more people, our power grows, and we have to sow our blessings mindfully. That way, we will have a very strong power and to make anything happen. So very grateful for Master sharing and the efforts of our young volunteers. So this program is not just to educate and to accompany, but rather also an opportunity to open the perspective of our young volunteers, like in the Manor House School, and many of them shared, or many of them learned that the students there, that their wish is to go back to their country, and they learned that war is not just a few lines in a book, but rather it is a turbulent time where their worlds turn upside down. And this person, well, in this picture is a Tzu named Taipei Shan. And this is also the second time she was there to share her inspirations, what she have learned, and also to recruit or ask for donations or support. And so far, she has received more than 240,000 NT support. So thank you all for listening, and we're very grateful for Sister Wendai for her sharing. And then, and we're also want to share with you that she's also our editor for some of our posters. Now, if we receive an introduction that has a lot of words that won't fit on our posters, also I always send it to Sister Wendai to take care of that. And we're very grateful that whenever we have opportunity to follow the master in Hualien, and we're very grateful for our team members from all over the world. And at this moment, I'm also very grateful for Sister Wendai. And if I not remember correctly, that might be her third guided reading. And because we're doing it virtually, we can see a delay. And very grateful for some of our feedback, saying that education is something that needed to continue from youth, and probably start when they're young. And next week there are 32 participants from Turkey who will share with us that even though they do not speak the same languages as they still provided us with the English and Mandarin introductions and slides. And Brother Hu Guangzhong also had them practice and rehearse so that to take full advantage of the time. So a lot of the feedback, I'm sure, is still brewing. So let's just show our gratitude for her right now. And now just to reply from our Malaysian response supporters. There are 3 Malaysian translators because all 3 of them does not understand Chinese, but so they translate via English. So So they're very grateful that we're able to share through the native language in Malaysia through the English translation. So next we'll have to follow up to our summary. And this is also a time where we take our photos. So regardless of who write these supports, they are all show a relay effort. So last week, let's listen to see who shared the summaries. And this is from Canada, responding to the West Toronto Tzu family. And Sister Wu Chen-Yao has shared that there are 3 generations of 5 people joining the Dharma Sutra adaptations. And then we also have the COO of Jingsi Bookstore with us last week and sharing about the 35th anniversary of Jingsi aphorism. And then, so the Tainan Tzu High School, the principal have showed diversity and capability and how they valued humanity. Through the education efforts, they were transforming and improving students by volunteering and turning Tainan boys into full adults. So this is from the U.S. From Northern California, where they're sharing from Canada. Sister Chen Yanwen, even though she's Cantonese, but I learned from the study group a lot. And then about the Tainan high schools, how they were able to achieve success through persistence and perseverance. And then Tai Qing'e, who is the CEO of Jingsi Books and Cafe, we're promoting the 35th anniversary of Jingsi aphorism. And also it teaches us to be kind to forgive others, to be kind to yourself, and the kindness is the best gift to everyone. So let's give them a thumbs up. So coming up next.
All right, on to our next section. We actually had this session planned about a year ago. Today we're going to have a topic on actually childbirth. This is someone named Sister Zhang Zhirui. I think she previously had come to share as well, and at the time, I believe folks were very touched by her sharing, and she's back to share again. Now, today's session, before we begin, I want to add a note. The session is going to be about something we call natural birth, and the idea is going through childbirth with minimal medical intervention. Now, while natural birth is, of course, a option for some people to explore, it's important always, of course, to make a fully informed decision by talking to your doctor and to understand your personal health circumstances, your personal risk factors, and all the options available to you, including the risks and the benefits of each of those options. Natural childbirth, of course, isn't going to be the best option or even a reasonable option for everyone, especially with folks maybe with higher risk factors who would need medical intervention to ensure safe childbirth for both the mother and child. So be sure to consult your doctor and health professionals, in particular your OBGYN, before making any decision regarding your childbirth. Okay, so that's more of a personal note before we begin, and then we'll kick into the actual session. So here are a few videos. And so I think one of the videos playing right now shows the upcoming speaker, Sister Zhirui, in 2021, who had attended it looks like a TIMA event. TIMA is the Tzu International Medical Association. So you see her speaking here. So it sounds like she's been involved in, amongst other things, promoting plant-based diets. She is the founder of something that I'll roughly translate as the Meatless Market. She's also the founder of a promotional association that I'm going to roughly translate as Meatless New Lifestyle. So this right here is a video of that meatless market that I was talking about. You see folks who have come to this market bringing their own Tupperware, which of course is a more environmental option. We were very touched by this meatless market. So let's welcome our speaker up to speak. So again, we're very grateful. When she came to share about a year ago, we had already discussed, hey, is there a possibility for you to come again in the future? And so very fortunately, we have been able to invite her again. At the time, she actually was pregnant, but I don't think it's this little girl right here who joined the world a year ago. So it sounds like the kid is elsewhere. Oh, it looks like there is her baby who was born about a year ago. I believe the speaker and her family maybe just flew in from Malaysia, I think yesterday, and came straight to the event. So again, let's welcome our speaker to speak. So it sounds like maybe there's some fans in the audience wearing the meatless merchandise, if you will, or the merchandise with the meatless logos and such. So let's invite Sister Zhirui. And it's totally okay if your daughter, I believe her daughter, decides to stay up here with you. Dharma Master Zhang Yan, Dharma Masters at the abode, and everyone listening today, and everyone who's here in the audience, good morning to you all. I am the founder of the Meatless Market. My name is Chelsea, or Zhirui. So I've had an affinity with Sister Meiyun for the past 3 years or so, so I'm really grateful for the opportunity to come back and share today. And I think there's somebody else who's online listening to me, Sister Jali, so hello to her. Last time I shared on a similar topic. It was about a natural birth. The process of a natural birth. And so today I'd like to go into kind of a further extension of that same topic. So I have a philosophy that in the birth of natural life, it should be as natural of a process as possible. So these are photos of our 3 children. So actually, through the birthing process, my midwife, while I was in a lot of pain, the midwife said to me that your belief and your conviction will create the reality. You need to believe that you're capable of this. And as long as you have a strong belief, a strong conviction, we're going to help you through this process. And it really is that as we're going through the childbirth process, we have to believe in ourselves that, yes, I can do this. Although the process is, of course, myself going through pain, but throughout the process, when you have your family with you through that whole process, it really is a big support. Now, as a kid, I did not have a vegetarian or vegan diet. At the time, I didn't really make much of a connection of my diet and life. And as I got older, as I began to view life for all beings as equal, I found that there's this sanctity to life and the need to respect all life. And I was fortunate that the midwife that I had is also, I believe, vegetarian and has actually welcomed, I think, something like thousands or tens of thousands of babies into the world already. So what does this whole process entail? Sometimes you think, let's say you are beginning the process of labor, maybe I just need to go to the hospital, right? So it doesn't have to be that way. In this case, if you're choosing a natural birth, then you would be waiting at home. So there is, I'll call it 4 different steps in the process. So the first step is the initiation of childbirth, which is when you start feeling your contractions. And it was in the middle of the night for me when my 3rd child was, when I started feeling contractions for my 3rd child. And so I called my midwife and said, hey, I think I have some time. You can wait for a little bit before you come. Because I believed that my child would tell me when it was time. So the second step is kind of a further step into that process at this point. Kind of the process of being in labor. So at this point, you may be feeling a lot of anxiety, a lot of pain, and there's a lot of things that you can do to potentially soothe any discomfort and maintain a relaxed state. Now, before this entire process begins, especially if you're going through a natural birth, you would want to write out a birthing plan. And this is to help yourself understand what the process is like, what you might face during the process, and how to not be worried or scared when these things might come up because you're already aware of them. So what are some of the things that might help you? Maybe this is often very personal preference, but it could be playing music you like, maybe adjusting the lighting, maybe it's putting essential oils, etc. Now, in a lot of childbirths today, you may have heard of an episiotomy, which is a surgical cut to the perineum. which is an area of the skin and tissue between the vaginal opening and the anus for females. And so sometimes there is a cut that's made in this area during childbirth to make more space for your baby to be born. In natural birth, I think there's often a goal to avoid this and to have a natural birth by just avoiding that incision and perhaps exploring alternatives like massaging the perineum or performing things like Kegel exercises. But it's important to note that usually, if these options are taken medically, there is probably a medical reason for it. So, of course, you want to understand the option that makes the most sense for you and that is the most safe for you. So again, as you're going through discomfort during labor, there's many things you could do. You could, for example, sit on a birthing ball that you can see on some of the illustrations here. You could kind of get in a squatting or a kneeling position. You can maybe get into, let's say, a bath, because sometimes being in the water actually can be very soothing for different reasons, or you can take a shower. So the midwife often has ways to help you through this process. And they might say that, hey, if you feel like you need to sleep, you can sleep. If you feel like you need to eat, you can eat. The midwife typically is not going to tell you, oh, the child will come at this time. They'll kind of quietly observe and just observe the signs. Which was a contrast to, I think, the childbirth that the speaker had in a hospital previously. So because of that, I felt a sense of respect from the midwife, because through the process, I could very deeply understand what the next step was going to be. Every one of my family members and others around me gave me a lot of support. So the natural birth process for me, compared to when I had childbirth in a hospital, I felt like it was something that I felt had benefits for myself. Now, the midwife plays a very important role through the birthing process. It's almost like she's a second mother, telling you, hey, you don't need to be scared. I'm right here for you. This is what's going to come next. You have to make sure to breathe, make sure you rest. If you can't, or if you can't stand it anymore, then this is what we can do, etc. Now, of course, this to me again felt very different from a birth in the hospital. Now, this midwife, the relationship with her, for me, it was like almost like she was birthing the child along with me. Now, the midwife typically has a lot of different roles and tasks. So they have to observe, hey, how far along the child is. Sometimes when you're in labor and you go to the restroom, there's almost this sense of like, oh, I want to birth the child. And so the midwife often supports you through that process and does other things to help you soothe the process, maybe with massages, with essential oils, with showers or baths. And when you rub essential oils, sometimes that can be helpful. And so the midwife actually is able to look at your spine, kind of the signs of this, or the lower back area. You can kind of observe, and when they see certain, I guess, signs in that area, they're able to say that, oh, the child is very close to coming. So they are very professional. They can observe many different things to know where you are in that birthing process. And she does a lot of analysis. So really, they have so many roles, and their role is so important. And whereas it felt very different for me when I was in the hospital. I appreciated all the support I had at every step of the way when I had my midwife. Now, with my third birth, there was some difficulty in birth. The positioning of my child was not quite the most optimal position. But I was determined to have a natural birth regardless, even though I was actually, I went to the midwife, and the midwife said, that's okay. Let's respect the way that the child comes, even if the position is different. I can still help you to birth the child. Now, of course, that sounds scary, and I was scared, but my midwife gave me a lot of confidence. Then when I went to check again, it sounded like, the child had adjusted to the right position. And then so when I went for a final check before the birth, it sounded like the position had adjusted again and had become, again, the not optimal position. So one of the doctors had assigned or scheduled a operation for me. And yet I decided to do one more check, and then it sounded like the baby had yet again adjusted to the right position. So the child kept adjusting their position. But finally I decided I would go through the natural childbirth. My midwife had been my midwife for 2 births. So during the childbirth, indeed, the position was not optimal. And so the midwife helped me through that process to even adjust the baby's position through the birthing process. And it was a very painful process. And the midwife kept asking me, hey, are you okay? Are you sure you can do this? And of course, I said that I wanted to do this. So I went through with it. But it was definitely extremely painful. And indeed, in the final moment, we were able to welcome our child. So the midwife really is very extraordinary. So experiencing this pain without any, let's say, epidurals or other pain medications, it was definitely a very resounding experience for me. I usually, after childbirth, the umbilical cord is cut pretty quickly. So the speaker is explaining here that you can actually sometimes feel like almost the pumping of the blood through the placenta even after birth. Whereas that could also be true. I think it's also important to note that after birth, the placenta actually becomes dead tissue. So just a note there. But anyways, so the cutting of the umbilical cord, it could be right after the baby, or now there's a more common practice called delayed cord clamping, which is to wait usually about 30 seconds to a minute before cutting the umbilical cord. It's been shown that there are a number of benefits to doing so, typically more than any possible risks. So it's there's definitely benefit for especially the baby through that. So it's something that is worth considering. And yet there is one more option that you could take. It's called a lotus birth. And the idea is that you don't cut the umbilical cord at all. You just wait for the umbilical cord to eventually dry off and naturally fall off. Now, this is another option that I think if you choose to do so, of course, make sure you've spoken to your doctor and fully understand that option and the potential benefits and the potential risks, since up until this point, the studies around that are very minimal. Now, if you choose to go that route and preserve the umbilical cord, then there are many creative uses of the placenta that could you use. For example, making art pieces like this to commemorate your birth, for example. Or you can even use that dried placenta to become the fertilizer for plant. And so I did do that for one of my births, and now you can see that the plant is still growing well. And now let's talk a little bit about breastfeeding. And so typically, there's an importance of breastfeeding and feeding your child natural milk. Now you'll see, of course, when we drink cow's milk is, typically intended for the baby cow, and goat milk is typically intended for the baby goat. So we've come to commercialize these milks of other animals, but it ideally for our child, for various benefits, breastfeeding them with natural milk or natural mother's milk can be very beneficial to them, such as in promoting their immune system, amongst other things. I encourage you, if you might be, nervous about the idea of breastfeeding, maybe any pain that might be associated, I encourage you to try and go through that process. I think, and I also believe that it can promote the closeness between the mother and the child. And there are these active ingredients and antibodies that support the child's immune system. And since, breast milk is very natural or naturally produced by us, it must be that it was intended for our kids to have because of the benefits that there would be to them. Now, the midwife also supports you through your postnatal care, or rather your post-birth care. So there will be checks for your baby, the health check for your baby, and then care for you as the mother as well. So after birth, people may be very concerned about protein intake, but it's actually very, very easy to get the protein intake that you need. So there are many options like those you see on the screen. It could be tofu, it could be many beans and lentils like peas or whatever it may be, etc. So it's actually very easy to get the protein you need. Even if you get just a handful of, let's say, mixed nuts or otherwise, that is also very high in your protein content. So I think you don't have to worry too much. Of course, with vegetables and with fruits, these are also important to consume as well. I had a lot of, I think, celery juice and maybe other just mixed vegetable and fruit juices. The main goal was to maintain a balance nutritionally for myself. For example, I tried to watch my carbs because if I had a lot of noodles or I had a lot of bread, I found myself just becoming very, very tired afterwards. So after my, I think, third child, I gained quite a bit of weight, and I've been able to bring that down a bit. Well, there is a noticeable difference in my physique from before birth and now. But again, what's most important is my health. So between fruits and vegetables, a healthy nutritional balance, and then adequate exercise, those are some of the most important things. And I have found myself actually, after I decided to become or to adopt a plant-based diet later in my life, I have found a lot of benefits to my health, to my complexion as well. So it looks like maybe she hasn't had milk and dairy eggs and dairy for some 20 years, and she's felt really good about it. Another aspect of our diet is maybe reducing salt and soy sauce and additives in a lot of your cooked foods. Thus, for example, reducing your sodium intake. So, if we watch all of our important nutritional components, be it protein, calcium, or vitamins and other important iron, other important nutrients, those are things we need to watch. And so we want to understand the food sources that can provide adequate amounts of those nutrition and accordingly adjust our diet. So again, let's say for proteins, you have all sorts of beans and legumes. Many vegetables are very high in protein content, and then nuts are high in protein content. For things like calcium, you have your algae and related foods that can provide a lot of calcium, things like seaweed and kelp. And then lots of foods provide lots of various vitamins and iron and other things as well. So be sure that you get all the adequate nutrients that you need. And it's also important not to go overboard. Sometimes there's a belief that postpartum care has to involve a lot of heavier supplementation or herbs or whatever it may be to try to give yourself the highest nutritional or other medicinal effects. But sometimes going overboard could have negative effects on your health as well because of some of the natural processes that happen after childbirth.
要靠什么？你知道美国啊，生完都给你一个冰淇淋。用冰淇淋的方式让你子宫收缩，那其实很惨的，因为你看美国人他们的骨盆都很庞大，对不对？就是因为他们吃太多生冷的食物。但我就是用徒手助产士徒手把我全部血块捞出来之后，我瞬间就松掉了感觉，所以我的排血量只有大概花了短短的2个礼拜，几乎就排干净了。而且我必须很直接跟大家讲，我第1胎就是在宫缩很痛，每一天都很痛。但是我第2胎跟第3胎在家自然生产，完全没有痛，很神奇，因为它就是帮你捞干净了，你根本就不需要再边喂奶上痛又下痛，因为上面已经很痛了，然后下面子宫缩又很痛。
Here she's talking about, I believe, the excretion of blood that continues typically after birth for some time, and the differences that she experienced between when she had a birth in a hospital versus when she had natural births for her 2nd and 3rd child at home. So these are meals cooked by my midwife. Doesn't it look really delicious? It really does. You don't even need to eat it. Just looking at it makes you feel better because, look at all the nice colors. So really, this was very wonderful. And then I had other chefs as well helping me. And I actually had 5, I'll call them personal cooks or chefs, helping me after my birth. So like each one of them would cover 1 day. So my postpartum care was actually a very wonderful experience. Every day I had people talking with me. I had wonderful food to eat. Doesn't this look really wonderful? So yes, I had plenty of all of the nutrients that I needed. So there's a lot of resources out there, a lot of experts out there who have written books helping you to understand the process of birth, including a lot of scientific and data information. So worth looking into. So Sister Meiyun also wanted folks to learn about the different kinds of plant-based foods that are offered and about the meatless market that I founded. And so here's a little bit sharing through a video. A video saying something that I thought was a dream before actually became a reality through ways that I wouldn't have imagined. So in this meatless market, every dish that's offered and every smile that I see all represents a firm conviction, a promise to the environment, and a commitment to sustainability. So to walk amongst others and benefit other beings, that is our collective goal. So here you see hot dog-like and hamburger-like foods, but they're all plant-based. Now I understand. I have a special family that has given me the opportunity to become an entertainer, which has given me the opportunity to help others. So I want to play the role that I can in this market, provide encouragement and support for others. This is, I believe, an entertainer named Lin Jiali. Thank you very much. Thank you to Sister Jali, who was featured in this video. So promoting plant-based diets, throughout that process of just promoting plant-based diets to others, we can often find that, hey, maybe it feels very difficult. But these past few years, Dharma Master Zhang has kept telling us how important it is for us to adopt plant-based diets and to promote it, because the world cannot keep on waiting with the state of things as where they are right now. So just as we so love our children and our next generation, it's also important to preserve the world for our next generation. So I want to say thank you to my mother for giving birth to me and raising me to where I am today. And to all the young folks, you really have to be filial to your parents, because it's only because of your parents that you are here today. It's not something that we should just take for granted. Everything that your parents go through, we really should learn to cherish that and be grateful for that. As we look at the world right now, with climate change, with the way that the world is, that brings worry to me, and I'm sure to others as well. So I think it's important for us to come out and promote things like plant-based diets to help preserve the world for our next generation. So everything we've talked about for food, we've actually prepared some food upstairs. So we'd like to let the audience here be able to enjoy after this session or after today's study group as well. So we have a few more wonderful sessions coming up. And after these sessions, you can come enjoy a lot of these wonderful foods upstairs. But then actually, Sister Meiyun is clarifying, it's not for the entire audience, it's for those who are coming, or who are specifically joining the next segment of the event. So here is our sister's family, or our speaker's family up here. We're so grateful to Sister Zhirui. We're really very grateful and very touched. Last time when she came and shared, I had asked her if there was a chance for her to also bring together the content around the meatless market. For the folks who had registered, we actually have, or we've set up the event for 120 people. For those who are registered, you'll be able to come enjoy with us later, but I'm sorry, it's only open to that audience. And really, it takes a lot of people and manpower to put this together. So, really so grateful. So her whole family is up here, and we had arranged for this speaker a year ago. So again, their family just came back from Malaysia, maybe yesterday, possibly even earlier today, I'm not sure. But because of the commitment that she had made to the session, she came right away. You see her husband, her 3 children. You also see her mother. And you can see the 3rd child, who was just born recently, is so happy. And I remember earlier Sister Zhirui mentioning about her 5 personal chefs after birth. So really that's how wonderful that she could enjoy all these wonderful foods after her birth in the way that she did. So we see some comments coming in from online from our listeners. Folks talking about how they're happy she had a successful birth, safe birth. Others commenting on her courage, her compassion. Others commenting that listening to Sister Zhirui share, you could really feel the pain that she went through in that process. And on the right side of the screen, left side of Sister Meiyun, sounds like this is a volunteer from Canada, who we'll talk about in just a second. So again, very grateful for all the wonderful affinities. And why does our Canada team recognize this sister right here? There's actually a volunteer that we send to many different parts of the world. It sounds like maybe she had gone to Canada at some point, and maybe she's in Guam right now. So the sister right here today came down from Taoyuan, which is closer to northern Taiwan, to Kaohsiung, which is in southern Taiwan. And so she wanted to join the event we have later with all the food prepared. And actually she decided that she wanted to help support Siji in the event in some way. And so she bought many of these packs of, I think, maybe mixed nuts or it's a chickpea snack, chickpea cracker, I believe. Okay, so thank you everyone once again. And again, I do want to make a note that for something like a natural childbirth, you want to make sure to consult your doctor and medical professional before making any such decisions. So thank you again.
So, Sister, grateful. Good day, everybody. This subject is you, student, don't have any problem. As long as you work hard, you can achieve. I use the topics as to my experience in the ceremony to award people. There are 2 sections per day. So in a very limited time, so we're gonna award those about 700 students. They receive their I really appreciate we have the chance to do this ceremony. So when we set our goal, then every function of volunteer, they start doing their jobs. So we only meet before we do the rehearsal. In the flow of the ceremony, we have activity group. I really appreciate each volunteer got different function. They can arrange all the information for the participant in very good order with no mistakes. And the guests coming and leave at a different time. So they are very concentrate on the arranged schedule. We have 8 MC for this ceremony. The MC team, they are the volunteer for the knowledge footstep. So if with the right attitude, you'll have successful. So they have formed a line group so they can communicate before this ceremony, and they can rehearsal in the group. And after the ceremony is finished, they still discuss the results. So, 12 years, every year we have devoted to support this meaningful activity. Not only this ceremony has no problem, as long as there's a will, there's a way. Thanks very much. Its time is very accurate. As long as there's a will, there's a way. So when I start this online book study, that's the day I retire from my job. So after 10 years working on this online workshop, we have a lot of volunteer grow in this book study group, so they can start to be the MC in the large scale Shiji activity. When they read the script, they practice all the time. So practice makes perfect. So actually we just play one song.
好，亲爱的家人，大家好，幸福吗？幸福，幸福的人请 牵起来。再一次。好，把我们的执着放开，好朋友手就牵起来。这是你的好前面。嘿嘿嘿，手肩膀，1 3 4，好朋友。哎，蹲下。肩膀，1 2 3 4，前面。拍腿，手肩膀，1 2 3，好朋友。拍四下，肩膀，1 2 3，好朋友。肩膀，哎，上来了吧？哎，哇，法人转到法人，心态运转，佛教来一次，心态运转，佛教来，手牵起来，把烦恼抛了，踢掉，嘿，耶，哈。哎，踢掉烦恼，幸福就来了，开心啊！探长说一声，认识你真好，预备 ，Go！ 认识你真好，爱你们了，请坐。谢谢。只要他们
The dancer wear all the clothes from the environmental protection station.
这个是大爱感恩科技的哦。下面的鞋子是大爱感恩科技。对，我们2组人员都是这样。
The dress I'm wearing is made from the water bottle material.
我们这个都是宝特瓶做的，也可以做到这么样的棒哈。好，非常的感恩。那今天我们下午茶的 ending。
This is a very joyful activity. I really appreciate the time is very limited. I cannot share those good articles about the previous program. 世间温情 will on the stage on December 25th. So Sister Xueyu's activity is for the student study award. So the presentation is very smooth. Listener from the Canada online said her grandchildren is the student.
This is our special of this week. We have a YouTuber coming to our book club today. This is their promotional flyer. It's very beautiful. And they have a very nice writing. It touches our heart. I wonder who wrote it, either Ruby or Ono. We'll hear from them later. And that's our art director team. And because our next speakers are YouTube, and due to the copyright, they gladly let us use their video scenes. Many of their viewers enjoy watching their video, and their recipe is very simple. Almost everybody can do it. That's why they accumulate many viewers. And the video shows step by step, and also at the end, they're also showing how they enjoy eating their own food. And the way she talked about food, it's very fun. They make cooking such a joyful experience. Not too long ago, there's a very popular Korean cooking show. It's a culinary war. It's made by a Korean team. So she made some short clips that was inspired by that show. Well, at first I wasn't interested about this Korean cooking show, but I heard so many people talk about it. So I started to watch, and it's really amazing, this show. And after watching that show, and I saw Ruby's replication of some of the dishes that's in the show, that really surprised me. And look at how she ate her food. It just make my mouth watering too. In one of the episodes, the main dish is tofu. And one chef is using the tofu to make a fried chicken. And in this video, it shows that Ruby is also making the same dish using the fried tofu. So let's invite them to the stage. Let's welcome them. And let's say, I love to be with you because you have positive energy. I want to ask you, who started to become a vegetarian first? Actually, both of us at the same time. I think this is fabulous. You don't have to persuade one or the other to become a vegetarian. And let's hear how they become a vegetarian and how they promote vegetarian dish. Let's say it with me again. I want to be with you because you have positive energy. Dear Master, everybody online, hello everyone. We are Veggie Deer, Ruby, and I'm Ono. We're a YouTuber. Our job is making video and share online, and how to promote and advocate of sustainable diet. And we're teaching people how to make vegetarian food taste good. This year is the 4th of Veggie Deer's establishment. We have already shared more than 300 vegetarian dishes. We have accumulated more than 20 million views. One of our popular videos is the vegetarian chicken rice. I believe most of us probably watch it already. The method is really simple, and the point is very tasty. And a lot of meat eaters say it's more delicious than actual chicken. Even when I went to the city where this dish came from, I've seen this recipe is available at some restaurants. And this is the YouTube video. It's called The Vegetarian Chicken Rice by Veggie Deer. So if you want to cook yourself, please subscribe to our YouTube channel.
跟着影片里面一起学习做这道料理，欢迎大家一起试做看看。这支影片真的让很多荤
As
食
you
者
can
在底下
tell,
留
this
言，
video
包括
has
肯定
been
有
watched
1.19
by 1.19 million.
120万了。对，就是很多荤食者做了之后就会说，哇，这我觉得比荤的
It's
还
made
好
of
吃。
oyster
虽然
mushroom.
说杏鲍菇的口感跟那个鸡肉口感一定会有一点
And
落差，但
you
真的
probably
做出
wonder,
来
how can
相
you
信
make
各位，相信
oyster
我
mushroom
有过
taste
之
like
而无不及。
chicken?
对啊，可以试
Just
试
try
看。
it out.
好， 那我们接下来
I
要跟大家
promise you
分
won't
享是我
regret.
们一路以来如何从曾经的无肉不欢到现在的永续饮食推广的身份。
First of all,
首
let's
先
talk
呢，我
about
们
our
先来
planet.
跟大家谈谈，稍微有点沉重哈，跟大
The
家谈谈我们这个
phenomenon
地
of
球。
global warming has not been
全
slowed
球暖化
down.
现象啊，已经刻
I
不容
believe
缓。
Tzu
相信
volunteer
慈济
feel the
也非
same
常的有
because
感，
you
因为我们
always
常常都是在第一
going
前线
help
救助很多的
where
灾难。
disaster hits.
那关于这些极
And
端
disaster
气
caused by
候导
extreme
致的灾难，
climate
真
have
的
been
每天
broadcast in
都
the
不断在
news.
新闻中里面上演。但
But it seems that
好像
we're all
看到这
become
些
less
现
and
象，大
less
家好像
aware
已
of
经
them.
没有什么感觉了，就是这些
To
现
be
象
more
不断的在
precise, we
出
feel
现，但大家
powerless.
为什么就是好像看多了就没有感觉，或是觉得说觉得无能
And
为力，
let's
觉得
imagine,
无可奈何。
imagine a
让我
child
们来想象一下，好，大家
collapse
闭上眼
on
睛
the
想象一
side of
下，
the
如果
road
今天有一个孩
on
子
your
啊，
way to work,
他就倒在你上班路途的马路
and this
旁，
child
或是
has
你买
fever,
菜路上的马路
shortness of
旁，
breath,
他
cracked
发着高
skin,
烧，呼吸很急促，
and
然后
allergic
皮肤可能也开始
symptoms.
出现一些
As a
皲裂、过
stranger,
敏的
will you
现
be
象。
able to
作为一
lend a
个陌
hand
生
to
人，
help the
你
child?
们会主动的伸出援手吗？帮我
I
举个手
believe
好吗？
most of
如
us
果今天这个
would
孩子他就倒在路边，
and
会
would
吗？
immediately go to
对，我
check
相
on the
信大多
child.
数的人都会，而且我们会心跟着揪紧，会立刻想要上前去查看，去帮
However,
助
if
他。
this child is
但
not
我
the
们今天
child,
谈论的孩子，他不是别人，
the child today is no
是
one
赐予我们
else but
爱
the blue
跟滋
planet
养
that has so
赖以为生的
generously
地球
given us
上。
the love and
奇
nourishment
怪
we
的是，我
need
们
to
会去帮助一
survive.
个不认识的孩子，
It is
但为什
strange
么
that
不
we
去
would
帮助
help
这
a
颗正
child,
在
but
生病的地球
why
呢？
don't we help our sick planet?
我相信地球对我们而言，它可能不是一个可以具体想象，或
The
是
reason
活
may
生
be
生
that
站
the
在我们
earth
眼
does
前的
not
孩
seem
子，
to us like a
又或者是
child
觉得
that
这个
can be
责任太重
imagined
大
and
了，
is
离我们太
standing
遥
in
远
front
了，
of
所
our
以
eyes,
我们不想要去
but
碰
that
触
the
它，不想要去思考。
responsibility is too big and too
从
far
换
away
个
from
角度想，
us.
如果地球这个孩子他生病了，那
I
生活
think
在这个
about
地
it from
球上
another
面的我们，
angle. If the
还有我们的
earth is
下一
sick,
代，我们的下一代，
what will happen
又
to
会是如
us
何
and
呢？
our next generation
其实我
living
们
on
两
this
个
blue
很
planet?
爱很爱孩子，刚刚子睿就是
Actually,
3个小
both
孩
of
就
us
是
love
就像
children
我
so
们的侄子
much.
侄女一样，
The
我们
previous
会一起
speaker,
哭。
第一眼看出来
she
看
has
他们出
3
生的孩子。
kids.
对，就是因为我们
They're
太
so
亲了，
close
所
to
以
us.
这些孩子就像
It made
真
me
的
want
就
to
是跟我
cry
们
right
很
now. Just
close。
talk about
但是
children.
我们
And
现在
we
很多人会
often,
跟我们讨论到说，你们会不会想要生孩子啊？
people always
其实我
ask
们很
us,
想，可是
when
当看到
are
现
you
在
going to
的
have
地球现在
children?
的极端气候
And
这
when
么
I look
严
at the
重的时候，
climate,
这么多的未
对，
知
我们
性
就
do
会
I
开始
really
思考
want
说，
to
我们有办法给下
bring
一
our
代
child to
这么
this
好的环
kind
境
of
吗？
environment?
对，我们会开始思考这件事情。 所以
The reason we
爱
become
爱环保的
vegetarian
我们
is because
我
we
们
are
知道环保是
environmental
对的，所以
friendly.
爱环保的我们今年是很常扛着
And
很
we
重的
used
玻璃
to
餐盒
carrying
出去
heavy
外带，但是
glass
我们
lunch
厨师
boxes
教
to
我们
take
是
out
玻璃的，但我们一样就是会扛着，就带着3、4个，然后就提
because
着
we
这样
don't want to
提着
waste
送出门。
plastic
有时
bag,
候出去我还会
plastic
被阿姨称
container.
赞，就是还要多给你几样菜啊这样。
And we
那
used to
我
go
们甚至还
to
安
the
排了
city
3天2夜
Jiayi.
的行程，专门到
We'll
嘉
spend
义
3
吃
days, 2
肉，
nights
你就知
just
道
to
我们以
try
前
all
多爱
kinds
吃
of
肉。
meat
对，
dishes.
所以
We
没
love
有就
meat
好像
so
没
much.
有吃到肉，就像没有吃到
We
饭
thought
一
that
样。
we could save
我
the
们以为
earth by
只要尽
minimizing
力
the
的
use
减
of
少一次
disposable
性的餐具
tableware,
就可以
but
拯
we
救
were
地球。
wrong.
但我们
I remember in 2019, Taiwan government pushed for the banning of plastic straws. We used to bring the glass to go back. And some people praise us for doing that. Some people say, that's too heavy. You are bringing these heavy glass container everywhere. So when the government pushed this banning, we were very happy because we never have to see a turtle with a straw in the snow in its nose again. Look at this picture. There's a straw coming out of a turtle's nose. But it wasn't until we reached Ocean Conspiracy that we realized straw only make up 0.03% of the ocean waste.
这意思是什么？你知道吗？全世界都没有吸管了，海洋里面的
It
垃圾只
meant
少了
it was a big
0.03。
impact because
这个数字其实是让我们很震惊的。
the plastic straw only make 0.03 of the ocean waste. What about the rest of the waste? What are they? Most of plastic waste. It's not just the plastic bottle, plastic straw. Can you
大家知
guess?
道是什么吗？我们让大家猜一下好。
我相信大家应该很多人都有这个概念，毕竟我们慈济一直在做环保，在做回收这件事情，所以大家应该都知道。
Believe it or not, 90% of the ocean waste is fishing nets. So not using disposable utensil or plastic bag can't change the ocean ecosystem that's in danger of being destroyed.
不管是深海里面还是说近郊里面，都会有这样子的状况。这些数据
And why are
在
there
各
so
个地方都
many
被验证过。
fishing
为什么
nets?
海洋里面会有这么多的渔网呢？因为我们去捕鱼的时候，大家都知道他们会
Because when
2
those
艘大
fishing
船一起
boats
拖拉，或是1艘大船拖拉，
to
但
capture
时常
those
会可能会
fish,
卡到暗礁，卡到一些石头啊、湖
they
珊
use
瑚
a
礁
lot
等
of
等里面
fishing
的时
nets.
候，他们没办法
And
回
when
收
those
渔网的
nets
时候，会
were
做什么事情？
caught by
直
rock
接把那个对，直接把我们的渔网放弃掉。
or
放
got
弃之后，
caught by
整片
other
渔网就会这样
ocean
哇，
structure,
铺天
覆
盖地
盖下去，
的把
they
我
would
们海洋生
they
态
would
整
just
个盖住。
所以就会有这个画面，
throw
就
away
是
those
渔
fishing
网底
nets
下所有的生
and then
命都
keep
会被
using the
往
new
上冲
one, new one.
大家都知道鱼是靠鳃呼吸的，那
是
鳃的时候，它必须在海里面游动，它才会产生那个呼吸。
So
所以它
like
在海
the
里的时候，
sea
等于是被困
turtle,
在那边，然后等待
they
着
were
窒息，等待结束
sometimes
它的
got
生
caught
命。
by the fishing
非常
net
可怕
and
的一
they
件事
couldn't
情。
escape
但是这样
and they
说起
just
来，
die
我们一直在不使用一
the
次性
same
餐具，但是我们
spot.
很环保嘛，想说不使用一次餐具，不使用一次性的餐具，不使用那些
So
那
not
个一
using
次性的
disposable
餐盒，是
utensil
不
or
是就可以
plastic
就地
bag
走？
can
那刚
change
刚
the
有
ocean
机回答大家，
ecosystem
我们
that's in
错了。
danger of being
我们连
destroyed.
不使用这些东西都没办
Not
法
to
去解
mention
决
today's
海洋生态
extreme
浩劫。
climate.
那更何况是我们现在正面临的环境变迁， 就是让我们不敢。
I want to share
就是
another
很犹豫到
story.
底要不要。
One day we
对，
passed by
再
a
分享
park
一个
and
故事，就
overheard a
是有一
conversation
次我
between a
们
mother
经过
and
一个
her
公园，
child.
然后无意间的听到一个妈
The
妈跟
child was
孩子
very
的对
happy
话，
to see
我们
the
就只是路过，
playground
然后
structure
呢
and
小
said,
孩就看到公
Mom,
园里
can
面
I
的
go
游乐设
play?
施就很开心，说
Mom
那我可以
say,
去玩吗？
Yeah, let's
然后
go
妈
and
咪
we'll
说可以
play
啊，那我们一
together.
起去玩吧。
As soon as
结
the
果呢，我就
child
看
got
到那
on
个
the
小孩子
ride,
一趴到游乐设
he
施上面，
cried
就是哇哇
and the
大
mom
哭，
picked
整
him
个
up
真的是整
and
个
said,
爆哭。然后妈妈
That's
就
too
很紧
hot,
张，然后把他
right?
抱起来安抚说
That's okay.
太
We'll
烫
go
了，
home
对
and
不对？
play.
没事没事，我们回家玩好了。
This seemingly a normal
这看似很
conversation
正
led
常的
to
对
a
话，让我们
deeper
两个回家之后一起
discussion
深入的
about
讨论这
this
个话题。
issue when we
大家
got
回想一下，
home.
我们小的时
When
候，
we were little,
天气有热
was
到
it ever
没
too
有办
hot
法
that
到
we
公
couldn't
园里
play
面
on the
玩游乐设施
playgrounds?
吗？没有吧？
没有公园。但回想到时候，我
姐
们
姐，我在堆叠情绪。
When we were little, we used to play in the
我
creek,
们回想到小时候，可能可以跟着
we
父
see
母到溪边，
tiny
然后
shrimp,
看到溪
little
边里面有
fish
小鱼、小
swimming
虾。
in
对，我
the
们很常
creeks,
在溪边里面玩
running
水，
the
在田
field,
野间里
have
面
fun
一
in
路
the
奔跑，
playgrounds,
甚
and
至在游
even
乐场里
rush
面
to the
玩乐。
playgrounds to
我
play
甚至连
ball
以前上
in
课的时
just
候，可
10
能还有
minutes
10分
between
钟的
class
下课
break,
哦，我都要冲到，
and
我
then
在
go
4楼，
back
我
to
上
the
课的教室
classroom
在
with
4楼，我要冲到1
which
楼
has
去躲
not,
藏躲避球，
which
然后
doesn't
冲
have
回
an
到
air
没有冷气的
condition.
教室上课。以前的小学是没有冷气的， 所以
So when I
我
saw
们看
that
这个画面的时候，
scene,
真的蛮震惊的，
that
就是哇，现在
kid
天气已
couldn't
经热
play
到
at the playground
小孩子
because
有可能以后
the
没有办
structure
法
was
在
too hot.
游乐场、在公园、在田野间、在溪水里面奔跑。
I feel very sad.
我们看到的时候，其实真的会让我们觉得很难过，很难过。
就一直在思考我们小时候的过程是怎样，那现在小朋友在经历的是什么？
So when I think of my children not being able to run and play in the nature in the future, I feel sorry for them. Since that experience, we have often wondered what can we, as citizens, do to mitigate climate change.
All right, on to our next section. We actually had this session
So, as
planned
we all
about a year
know, the
ago.
first step to mitigate climate change is to
Today we're going to have a
reduce
top.
greenhouse gas emissions.
Ask how many
When we
international
talk about
shares are
greenhouse
there.
gases, the first
It
thing
shows
that comes to our mind is the impact of industrial development, transportation, thermal power generation, and other energy industries. However, we cannot stop industrial development, nor can we stop using transportation, nor can we stop using electricity in our lives, especially in the hot and hotter summer. Unless I stay in the mountain, I really can't do without air conditioning. Even our fans who live in the mountain told us that they live in the mountain. They couldn't stand because it's getting hotter now, so they all have to purchase air conditioning. Even they live in the mountain. My workshop used to be no air conditioned, and we can live with it. But this year, oh my God, it's so hot. While we were working in our workshop, the sweat kept coming out and we felt dizzy. So at the end, we had to purchase air conditioning for this workshop. So the discussion seems to hit a dead end with no way out and no solution until we accidentally watch a documentary on Netflix. It's called The Livestock Conspiracy. And realize that the livestock industry is also a major source of
See the
carbon
report from
emissions.
the Dailin Tzu
It
Hospital.
accounts for more carbon emission than all of the world's transportation.
Before we start,
And this is a
four things
chart.
to do.
It
2
shows that
people in 4 hours. We broke the
the
record.
livestock industry is
So normally we do
14.5%.
not do such an urgent
And
thing, but this is
transportation is
all worth it.
14%. So
You
they're
and
almost
me
the
in
same.
Taiwan.
Suddenly,
It's a little.
it turns out that we can
Yeah,
save the
so the
planet by
near miss.
eating right. A voice in my head say, it's easy to be a
because he is such a
vegetarian
great
and the
sharing. So
planet
let's
is
give him a round of
healthier.
applause and thank him for
But it's
his
not
hard
simple. It's
work.
not simple at all. I used to have a nickname in high school. They call me Meat Rice Maniac. And what I look for most every day in school was to go to different food court and try different
Ask how
marinated
many.
meat rice after school.
So very grateful for Master.
Every day I would go
Upon
to
the
different
end,
restaurants and eat
study
their
our
meat
posters.
dishes. A friend of mine
Now,
once came to me and said,
if we receive
oh
an
no,
introduction
my
that has a lot of
boyfriend is a
words that
vegetarian
won't fit
and he wants me to be a
on
vegetarian
our
with him.
posters,
But
I
it's a real
always send it to
struggle.
Sister Wendai to take care of that.
I told
And we're
her,
very grateful
you really have to think
that
about
whenever
it.
we have
You may
opportunity
miss a lot of
to
food in
follow
your
the
life
Master
because of this.
in Hualien, and
Depending
we're
on
very
whether you want
grateful
to miss the
for our team
food
members from
or
all over the
find
world.
another partner with similar eating habits. After all,
And at
different
this
eating
moment,
habit will have an impact on your
I'm also very
relationship. Who knew? After a year later, I told this friend, it's so easy to be a vegetarian. The earth is healthier. It's very difficult for me to give up meat at that time. Without ribs or chicken in my lunchbox, I felt that something was missing and I felt like I hadn't eaten at all. The fate is so interesting. At that time, I was working as a director on a project, and I just happened to receive a case that wanted me to film the cooking process of a vegetarian restaurant to promote vegetarianism. I wasn't really interested at first, but it wasn't that difficult for me to film, so I took it. After shooting a few videos, I realized that the result was not very good. So in order to keep my job, I proposed to the owner that we should shoot a vegetarian cooking instructional video. It just happened that Ruby loved to cook, so it was only natural that I dragged her down with me to work with me. I started to look for all kinds of vegetarian recipe and vegetarian cooking video on the internet every day. And I have to say, the food I made at that time tastes terrible. Because I'm new to vegetarian cooking, I cannot use no meat, no seafood, no egg, no dairy products, no 5-octane vegan dishes. My choices are limited. Do you know how painful it is for a person who loves cooking to be deprived of so many ingredients all of a sudden and still have to make delicious dishes? So I look all kinds of cooking shows, look at all different cookbook. And many people ask me how I developed so many creative vegetarian cuisine. I want to say I'm not watching the vegetarian cooking show. I'm watching the regular meat cooking programs. I watch a lot of cooking shows.
所以我们才会拍出那些什么提拉米苏啊，那些他们里面的料理。为什么会看荤食频道呢？素食频道它会有一个局限，对我来说，
Because vegetarian live in my imagination.
素食料理就是大概是那几样。
But regular cooking show,
他们使用的调味方式、料
they
理手法，
use
其实
a
是更
lot
多的。
of
那我们其实是可以
seasoning,
从那里面取
ingredients.
得出来。所以以前
I
我
grew
是
up
荤食者，
watching
料理
those
频
cooking
道甚
show,
至是
regular
我
cooking
从小到
show.
大看的节目，不是卡通哦。我从小
I
到大
hardly
是看料理
watch
节目的。
cartoons,
大家问我说我小时候喜欢什么
but
卡通，我真的零。
I
然
love
后
watching cooking
但料理
shows.
节目我可以讲出很多我很喜欢看的。
I just
对，
learned
可
their
是以前
technique
看
and
的时候呢，
ingredients,
就是看
but now
看
it's
了之后就记
different.
起来，
And
没有
now
过
when
多
I
的
watch
想法。
regular
但我
cooking
现在
show
因为
that
是素
cook
食者，
meat,
我看那些频道，
my
我看了
brain
之
does
后，
not
我的脑
stop.
袋是没有停过
I
的。
will keep
我
thinking
会
about
不
what
断的在思
ingredient
考，
can be
他现在做
used
这
to
道料
replace
理，
the
我
meat.
可以用什么东西来取代？
One of
跟
the
大家举个例子哦，
video
我
I
频道有一
produce
支
is
叫
called
凤梨虾
the
球。
pineapple
大家
shrimp
猜一
balls.
下我们
Do
凤
you
梨
know
虾球是用
what
什
I
么做的
use
吗？
for shrimp?
虾子，虾子是用什么做的？
It's not
豆腐不
tofu.
是，蒟蒻也不是。有创意一点。
Can you guess? The ingredient I use, I want
对，
people in the world be able to use
杏
it.
鲍菇不是，
Shrimp ball.
不是。虾球，虾。直接来公布答案好了。我们直接公布答案。
So imagine the taste of shrimp. What is the texture of shrimp? ？Have you ever
大家有
tasted
吃过炸金针菇？
fried
你
oyster
会觉得吃起来很
mushroom?
像虾饼，对不对？如果炸的很酥的话，它很像虾饼。那既然虾子的味道有了，
So it kind of
那再来是口
remind
感，
you
虾
of
子那种
the
脆脆又有点 QQ 的口
shrimp
感。
seafood
一
flavor.
般我们在外面的素食餐厅，通常有的人会用红毛丹。对，有人会用红毛
So
丹。
once
但我
I
现在想说，
found
红毛
the
丹其实在台湾不
flavor
好
of
买，
shrimp,
它并不是一个全世界都很容易取得的东西，
I
所以我们
try
后
to
来用了
use
白葡萄，一定要白
next
葡萄
thing
哦，因为
is
紫葡
finding
萄的味
the
道，葡萄味很重，但白葡
texture.
萄它相对的味道比较清爽，
So
所以我们就把白葡
we
萄中间
use
戳了一个洞，
white grape. And
对，
this
用戳一个洞
fruit
之
is
后呢，
pretty
我们把金针菇
universal all
塞
over
进
the
去，
world.
然后再把它凹成像虾子一样的形状，把它裹粉，再下去油炸。
So I use
我跟你
batter,
讲，
the oyster mushroom and deep fry, and then cook with the white grape and add walnuts. Let me tell you, the flavor is amazing. A lot of time, most of our video, it's my first try of making those dishes. So my reaction were true because they just taste so good.
目的是为了这个，虽然有时候画面还是会有点血腥，我会这样看，对，所以但是
So by regular cooking show, it gave me a lot of inspiration.
更多跟别人不一样的素食料理。
So we were working days and night in the kitchen.
公司我们就每天就没日没夜的在研发，然后
And one night, Ono told me,
就突然看着我说，很认
"Wow,
真的看着我说
I haven't eaten meat all week."
我一整个礼拜没有吃到肉了。
I was shocked
前面有提到嘛，我只要
and started to think back because I've been eating the vegetarian dishes I've developed for the whole week, and it seems like we really hadn't eaten any meat.
意识到说，哎，我已经过一整个礼拜都没吃到肉了。
As a meat eater, it's a
所以我也震惊了，
pretty amazing thing.
好像真的是因为整个礼拜都在吃我研发的。
Yeah, I was thinking it seems like we really hadn't eaten any meat, but why didn't we feel uncomfortable with it? That's when I realized that it wasn't the meat itself that we liked. It was the way it was prepared or the flavor and texture.
我举个例子，3杯鸡，一定要有鸡吗？不一定。
What about, for example, like 3 cups chicken?
我在咬鸡，其实我根本没
A
差。
lot of time, did you know that the reason you like that dish because you like the basil,
所以为什么还要鸡呢？
you like the soy sauce? So instead of using the chicken, we can use plant-based ingredient like oyster mushroom.
甚至完全不吃肉了呢？
So if we leave all these flavor and texture in it and just replace the main body with the plant-based, we can eat a lot less meat and not eat meat at all.
就跟原本刚刚提到那个业主，因为想法不一样，所以我们就独立开创出了野菜入入的频道。我们就希望可以持续的创造。
And that's why we create the Veggie Deer YouTube channel, want to continue to shoot more innovative vegetable dish to share with everyone.
鸡肉饭，这也是我们研发这道料理的主要原因哦。因为我们希望大家
Like I mentioned earlier, we used to go out 3 days, 2 nights just to eat meat dishes
我们一样可以
in
享受到美
Jiayi.
味，一样可以享受到记忆中那曾经让我们流连忘返的。
We hope that everyone will be like us. You will not have to give up your own preference because of a change in diet. You can still enjoy the deliciousness and the joy of memorizing the endless memory. And here are some of my dishes.
没有蛋哦。
Vegan pork with bell pepper, melon rice with vegan pork, roasted vegan pork with ginger sauce, and even egg dishes without eggs. We have also been contacted
真的会有很多留言说，哇，我们
by many
不知
people
道要做
that
什么料理的时候，就点开
if they have no idea what to cook, they're just subscribe our channel and give them an idea. And even a meat restaurant contact us, see if they can use our recipe to sell food in their restaurant. And that they were like to add more vegetarian item. And we're so happy to do so because we have made all of the recipe we have developed available to the public with no hidden agenda. Just to make veggie more accessible to everyone so that veggie become one of the dietary choices in our lives. And at the same time, do less harm to the planet.
我们两个改变饮食习惯的故事，更是一个关乎于希望的故事哦。还记得我们前面提到那个生病的孩子吗？我们地球正在发烧，但是就像照顾每一个生病的孩子
Like I
一样，
mentioned
都是要
earlier,
细心的照顾。
our planet is
我
like
们
a
一起也
child
需要
having
每
a
一个人的行动。
fever.
或许你会想，我们就只是一个小小的个体，我们到底可以做什么？少了我们一个人有差吗？ 但就如同蝴蝶效应一样，
You probably think I'm just a small individual. What can I do? What difference does it make if I'm just one person? But it's like the butterfly event. Behind one person is a family,
消费至上主义的时
a,
代里面，
a
我们每个
school,
人的决定，
a food court,
虽然我们可能都
an
是
industrial
somebody， 我们
chain.
都只是 nobody， 但我们每个人的决定
We may
都可
be
以我们每个人的行为都可
nobody,
以决定 somebody 的
but
方向。
in this customer-oriented
我们不需要
era,
立刻成
our
为一个素食
choices
者，也不需要做
determine
到
the
牺牲
direction
饮食。
of
有3点是
somebody.
我们可以轻松做到的。第一点，从无肉
You
星
don't
期
need to
一开
become a
始， 我
vegetarian
们
right
每周
away,
选择
nor
一
do you
天
need
开
to
始尝试
sacrifice
无
tasty
肉料理、
food.
素食料理。
There are 3
第二
things
点，
can
到
do
餐厅吃饭
easily.
的时候，我们可以优
Start
先
with
选择素食
meatless
料理，
Monday and
或者是跑去问
choose
厨
one
房
day a
说，
week to
问餐
enjoy
厅说
vegetarian
有没有素
cuisine.
食料理的提供。
When
这样就可以
ordering,
让这些餐厅
prioritize
开始反
veggie
思
or
并
ask the
思考
restaurant if
提
they
供
have
素食
any
料理的可能
vegetarian
性。
option
第三点，
so
我
that
们
they
可以
can
多
think
跟朋
about the
友一起来分享
possibility.
好吃美味的素食料理，
And the
然后多
third
做
one
美
is
味料
share
理
the
分
delicious
享出
veggie
去，分
dish
享给大
with
家，
your friends
让
so
更多
that
人
more
知道素
people
食料
will
理
know
可以
that
非常好
veggie
吃，非
can
常
be
美味。
delicious.
还记得我刚开始尝试素食饮食的时候，我内心是充满挣扎的。但现在回过头来看，我才发现那些
Before
我
I
以为
went
会失去的美
vegetarian,
食，反而让我发
it
现了
was a
更
lot,
多
it's a
美味的可能性。
challenge.
所以今天就
But
让我们
now
一起许下一
I
个
didn't
承
lose
诺，为了我们
anything,
挚爱
I
的家
gained
人，
so
为了
much
我
more.
们未来可以在孩子，未来可以在那个草原里面奔跑的孩子，然后我们
So
一
for the
起
sake of our beloved
用餐
family,
桌
for
上
the
的选
future
择，
children
创
running
造
in the
这个红
park,
色星球。
and for
真
the
的，
land
我
that
觉得
nurtures
把
us,
现
let's
在台
take
湾那
care
么
of
多
this
好吃的素
beautiful
食
blue
料理，
planet with
真
the
的太多了，
choices
台
we
湾其
make
实
at the table.
很幸福，吃素食真的很幸福，所以我们真的要用我们的嘴巴，用我们的行动
Because
来告
saving
诉
the
这世界上
planet
的每
is
一
not
个
the
人，素食
responsibility
真
of
的
one
可以拯救地
person.
球。我们
It's
用
the
吃就好，
choice
用
of
饮食
each
改
and
变就
every
好，
one of
我们不
us.
用舍弃掉很多东西，就是你每天的饮食习惯，一餐也好，2餐也好，
This is
它都
something
是
you
一
can
个
do right
马
away.
上可以立即做出
And
来
the
的
choice
行动。
starts today,
对，
right
今天
now,
的分享到
and
这里。
哦，
to
太
start
感
with your
动
next
了，
meal.
真的很精彩哈。所以我们在这边的时候也真的非常的感恩哦。其实用这样的分享，
These
年轻
young
人真
people,
的
they
很
have
有
so
力量。
much
哎，我可以问
power.
一下吗？你在做的时候，你会不会做啊？
I
你有好好
wonder
做吗？
who's doing the
你也会做
cooking.
吗？
我也会做，
会
Actually,
所以我们很多
both
都
of
是2
us.
个人一起讨论，然后一起激发想法出来
哦，
的。
所以会做。我以为
We,
啊，那你
我有考过厨师执照，
I
但
actually
是没有过，
tried to become a chef.
考过，
I didn't pass the
考过，
test,
考过但没有
didn't
没
get
有考过
certified,
哈，
but
有考过没有过？来，我们稍
I
微再
was
做点
very
点
good
哈。
at cooking
哎，
too.
这年轻人很诚实。那你一开始有没有吃到很多 NG 食物不好吃的？
你说在
一开始有，我刚刚就说一开始做真的是5告拍价。
哦，那
对
刚好前面我在跑来跑去
对
的时候，哦，原来是这样。我们这边，哎，帮我剪一下。我们这边的那个德
Our
州在
sister
美国啦，
Fang Wen,
我是野菜
Sister
屋，
Fang
我
Wen
是觉得它的
from
料理程序简单又美味，尤其是
Texas,
执勤
we
2
are
个
your
字，
big
执勤
fan.
就是我们年轻的孩子
And
去他们
the
家家具，都是参考
you
他们的料理来开菜单。
谢
感恩你的
谢。
用心
university
配速，所以
student,
你刚才
they
可
were
以看
also
到他
your
们
big
最新的
fan.
点是他们的
They've
留
been
言
watching
真
your
的是
video
多
and
少
cook
万次，
vegetarian
真的是
dishes.
2000万
2000多万
次
次
的观看，
哦，你
超
看，
过2000
真
万
的
And
次。
your
真
video
的真的很不
inspired
容
not
易，
just
对不对？
the
就是大家其实简单易学，但是呢，又让他这，其实刚才他一
housewife,
张张
also
图片出
younger
来说，哦，这是
generations
什么什
too.
么什么的时候，然后连那个菜包呢都没有带，然后我们都觉得哇，这到底怎么做？可是呢，我们都不
And
用
a
动
lot
脑
of
筋
time,
想，
I
因为
always
他们
wonder
很
how
会
you
做，
came
而
up
且
with the
你看还
idea.
出书哦。
对，我们有出一本书，
So
2
let's
本，
have to watch her
2本的，
YouTube.
那你的1本是偷偷出的吗？
And also, they
总
now
之
have a
这些讯息
cookbook
我
coming
们都
out. They
可
have
以把它
2
传达出。我们
cookbooks.
真的非常感恩，就是只要是有关于这个地球好的，像我们明年度已经安排到的，就是齐柏林他的儿子即将会莅临读书会分享。我们
Next
希望
year,
说
I already
让
have
更多
a
人一起
very
爱这
famous
样的一个地
Taiwanese
球，然后到底我
videographer's
们是要
son.
做
He's
什么。
coming
你
to
看
our
看
show.
你的杨颖就说，紫睿师
I
也
want
分
to
享
invite
你
more
的生
people people like you guys to coming to our show and to inspire other. And here's the feedback from the previous speaker. 然后我们的黄美云在这里，她说帅哥美女间谍情深，为爱改变，爱情 also leave a comment They say your love conquers and also inspire and save the planet. And so many people ask us about when we're going to have a restaurant. I can recommend that watch our YouTube video and try to cook yourself, or you can read our cookbook. Another feedback mentioned that every day you have 3 times to save the planet.
谢谢，
张素美说野菜露露好创意，环保爱地球，退出一定要订阅，把它学起来哈。加拿大的管心玲说为爱附身的素食者，苦口婆心的劝荤食转素食的。
One viewer mentioned that from meat eater to vegetarian, it's hard. But you do what is right and full of energy. Oh, we do have a viewer say the vegetarian chicken rice. It's amazing. And this dish is so delicious and tasty and simple too.
发愿祈福而去做的事，为爱素食，爱孩子哈。他写的非常多，感恩。好，我跟你讲，我一定念一下林佳丽，感恩好姻缘可以。哎，佳丽姐，我跟你讲，你这一篇直接用文字稿给我，就是一篇善效应了。你看他怎么写的、啊？感恩好姻缘可以跟上今天的线上读书会，感恩委任。
A viewer, I believe she's also an actress. She left a very detailed feedback. I recommend that we can save this feedback and then make a flyer for our next show and summarize all the speakers from today's show and how she felt about each speaker and how they inspire her.
今天又让我们大家看到满满的幸福跟纯素月子餐，让大家深刻感受没有鸡蛋没有牛奶也可以吸收大地的滋养丰盛的营养。子睿除了无肉市集的创办人，也是无肉新生活协会的理事长。欢迎
He wrote a very long feedback.
一起来推广纯植物的饮食。Ruby
真的很长。
He mentioned the viewers say Ruby is one of the most talented chefs.
外号，所以还有真实的名字。他和小野在荤转素的
Both Ruby and Uno turned to vegetarian. It's just by one thought. And this thought turned them from meat eater to vegetarian.
好，总之我们非常感恩，因为时间因缘，我真的没办法再往下练。但是今天我们真献情来喽，所以又遇到
What we're showing here are hand sewing products from our volunteers. New Year is coming soon, and all these are handcraft. This is the keychain holder. It took 2 hours to make this. This is one of the most popular products. A lot of them are back order, and some of them even got it after a year of ordering. And this is the baseball keychain because Taiwan baseball just won world championship. And this is the cell phone chain.
然后斜背的，哇，这个编织我觉得这个要花好多的时间去做，而且每一条都很漂亮哈，所以还是有一些新品，有些旧品。总之，大家如果留下来有下午茶的人，您可以
After the show, you can enjoy the food and then come look at our product. And right after the book club, we have a new design. This is the sample that we're going to do it this afternoon.
急着走，下午2点半我们开始就教这一个。好，那我们的针线琴团队用这样子来弘
And
法利
all
生，
the
可能
money
先
that
是
we
见到
collect
尼泊尔，
will go
很
to
感动吧？然后前段时间就地震，
country like
日
Nepal
本的就捐
or
赠了。那
other
这段时间
earthquake
我们
affected
这一次捐出了
countries.
10万块钱，就是给我们的弘法利生到尼泊尔。总之非常感恩年轻人
Let's
用
give
参
them
与
a
的
round of
耶
applause. These young
真的
people
圈
saving
粉
the
哦，
planet.
真是太开心了，感恩感恩，谢谢谢谢。好，有一个第一次上线的江西的家人，他说第一次
Just
上
got a
读书
feedback.
会了，
One
原来美云
person
老师这么样的有活
said
力。
that this is her first time
好热闹，美云老师，你真的很
watching
有
the
活力
show.
耶，一场下来不要太累
She
哦。
couldn't
哇，你
believe
很
how
累吧？
energetic
不
Sister
会不会，因
Meiyun
为真
is.
的都遇到很多的正能量，所以不累不累哈。所以我们非常感恩，
And
真的，
next week we
请
have
大家下个礼拜来支持我们土耳其的家人，
volunteer
跟台
from
湾的
Turkey's
都来支
coming.
持。然后这个部分也真的只有，你看1月15日限量发行，已经全部5900份都已经卖光了，200
And this
份
is
是我把它
our new
空出来
products.
说给我们这一天他们来的时候要送他们礼物了哈，所以我们非常感恩。然后佳音
New
嘉荣，你的
sutra
礼物
book
我特别
also
准备，
available.
因为
And
你在
this
古
is
里就买得
also
到，但是你今天送
the
我们一
chickpea
整箱，
chips.
所以我们送你这一个好不好？所以非常的感恩哈，这么多
Many,
人来
many new
爱我们
products,
的读书会哈。
cleaning
那
products.
再往下看一下哦，
New
嘿，
Year's coming.
这个真的很棒，
You'll
一定要
need it
过年了，大
to
家一定要
clean
请
your
到这个回
house,
去，完全无毒。你看这个去渍粉，
home
真的不是
appliance.
开玩笑的，就这样子，而且
It's
无毒，
totally
不会
safe,
破坏地球。
non-toxic,
Ruby 小
earth
野，你看一
friendly.
下，我们这里就是不会破坏地球的，所有，而且可以这么样的清洁。所以这时候我们刚好感恩礼赞，你请购1000元，我们这一次呢是有这一瓶。 这一瓶那个近视多功能，
And
这
I've
也
used
是我
it
在我家
in
里
my
面用，
household
我一天到晚都在喷，
every day.
就用这个。
And this is
这个
the
是今
soy
天有没
milk
有？就是
powder.
那个子睿去讲到月子餐的时候，林嘉丽师姐给她的这一些，
And the
这也
fiber
是我们早上必吃的，
powder.
还有加上我们的薏仁粉。好，总之这个也是我必吃的。好，所以
People
你
ask
说，
me,
老
how
师你
come
怎
I'm
么
so
那么有活
energetic?
力？吃素。
Number
练
one,
了
I'm
自己吃。
vegetarian. Number two,
好
I eat a lot
，OK，
of
所以今天我
Jingsi
们要
products.
微笑的脸，花现幸福哦，下午继续留下来哈，也非常感
And
恩。
next
1月1号我们没有
time
放
will
假，
be
没有放假，没有
January
放假，没有放假，而且还欢喜结
1st.
缘2
We
项
will
哈。
still be
这个礼
online.
拜铁三角爱无限，涂光中他们来32位，还有佛国的团队哈。再来我们要到菲律宾，以及导渡人是正经。总之哦，我们周
I
3
want to
共
be
在
with
一
you
起，我
because
喜
you
欢
have
和你
positive
在一
energy.
起，因为你有正能量。 一心一志法无量，跨步就向前，向前就有好姻缘，恒持就会遇见更好的自己。
You do not need to have a
所以
power,
呢，
but you need
我们人
to
可以没有权
have
利，
an
但要有
influential
权利，像
power.
Ruby， 像小野，像子睿一样，年纪很轻。
I
哎
wrote this
，Ruby，
when I
这
was
句
in
话
my
是
20s.
我20多岁写下来的。 到目前，我20岁写下座右铭，到现在我没
And
有
I
改变
still
我的
live
想
by
法，
it.
就是这样。人可以没有权利，因为我也没什么权利，但是要有影响力，把美善带给大家。透过这样的一个方式，爱上人多说实际，邀约这么
So
多年轻
please
善知识来加入哈。总之，我们挥
raise
手
your
跟上人
hand,
金
say
神师傅
goodbye
以及所有的家人，我们
to
周
all
3再见
the
面。